Section 13-7, Problem Solving. Part 1, Finding Surface Areas of Composite 3D Figures. The party favors have the shape of two identical cones attached at their bases. It's kind of like we have two party hats here attached at their bases. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like two party hats attached at their bases. The party hats are cones. The base radius is 2 inches. To the nearest square inch, how much paper do you need to cover each party favor? So we will need to find the amount of paper used to cover the party favor by calculating the lateral area of one cone and then doubling it. So we will find the lateral area of one cone and then double it. Well, remember, the lateral area of a cone is pi r L. L is your slant height. So what is the slant height of this cone? Okay? Remember, for a cone, your slant height is the distance from the vertex on the outside of the cone down to the base of the cone. All right? Now we know that our radius is 2. Okay? Our radius is 2. Now we were told here that the distance from one end of the cone to the other end of the other cone is 10. Therefore, we know the height of just one cone is 5. So I'm looking at one cone here. One cone, radius of 2, we were given that, and then your height of your cone would be half the distance that we're given, and that's 5. So to find the slant height, which is L, we will need to use the Pythagorean theorem because we do have a right triangle here. So I have 5 squared plus 2 squared equals 2L squared. Now, that's the same thing as using A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I want you to understand that. 5 is a leg, 2 is a leg, so I can let the legs be A or B. So 5 squared plus B squared was 2 squared, and I'm searching for the hypotenuse of the right triangle or the slant height of the triangle inside the cone, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and use C because that's what you're probably more familiar with. 5 squared is 25. 5 times 5 plus 2 squared is 4 equals 2C squared. So C is equal to 29. So to go from C squared is equal to 29. To go from C squared to C, I'll need to take the square root of both sides. C is equal to the square root of 29. So therefore C, which is really your L, that is your slant height. It is the C of Pythagorean theorem, which is the hypotenuse, but that is our slant height, which is L of our cone. So the length of the hypotenuse of the triangle or the slant height of the cone is the square root of 29. Now let's find the lateral area, okay, using this formula, pi r L. So I'll have pi, which is 3.14, times my radius, which is 2, times L, which is square root of 29. Okay, so we need to multiply all those together. My recommendation is to go ahead and take the square root of 29 first. So let's go to your calculator, and let's hit 29, and let's take the square root of 29. When you take the square root of 29, you end up with, when you take the square root of 29, you end up with 5.385, a long decimal. Take that value in your calculator, then multiply it times 2, times the 3.14. Okay? So when you do, you get approximately 33.82. Now I did a little rounding there with that final answer. So I'll do that again. I suggest you to take the square root of 29 first. So when you took the square root of 29, got that value, times 2, times 3.14. You ended up with something like 33.8188. Now round it to 33.82. Now remember, the surface area of the party favor is twice the lateral area of the cone. Because remember, there were two party hats stuck together, two cones stuck together. So we have found the surface area, or which is the lateral area of one cone, okay? So surface area is going to be 2 times the lateral area, since we have 2 of these cones. So I need to multiply 2 times, we found our lateral area to be 33.82. When you multiply those together, you get 67.64, which that will round to 68 inches squared. So the amount of paper needed to cover the party favor, which was 2 party hats stuck together, is about 68 inches squared.